U.S. District Judge has ruled that the sealed documents involved in a Trump University case can be unsealed. Now, this is U.S. District Judge Gonzalo Curiel, and the reason why the press is covering this is because there seems to be a little bit of a catfight between Donald Trump and this judge. Now, the catfight, of course, was started by Donald Trump accusing him of being a Mexican judge that should be investigated because he's a disgrace. So let me give you some more details on what happened. And by the way, Trump made those statements prior to the judge making this ruling. In an order signed on Friday, U.S. District Judge Gonzalo Curiel said that materials, including Trump University procedures on dealing with students and the media, should be unsealed. Trump is fighting a lawsuit that accuses his school venture of misleading thousands of people who paid up to $35,000 for seminars to learn about the billionaire's real estate investment strategies. I should also note that he's currently facing 3 separate class action lawsuits for defrauding students. Now, here's what he had to say about the judge. I have a judge who is a hater of Donald Trump. A hater, he's a hater. Very eloquent.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, he said these things at a rally in San Diego. He also says, we're in front of a very hostile judge. The judge was appointed by Barack Obama, Trump said, adding he believed Curiel was Mexican. The reality is Curiel was born in Indiana, and he's an American.
So, I don't know if he knows this, but Mexicans can't be American judges. Okay, but I don't know if he means Mexican-American, and hence I hate him because he's Mexican-American. Although, I heard from Donald Trump that he loves Latinos and loves Mexicans. So, he even eats their tacos. So, it's kind of weird that he would question this guy just on the idea that he'd be Mexican. Of course, he's not actually Mexican. There's no actual Russians or Mexicans serving as judges in America. I mean, there's plenty that are ethnically like that because we're a diverse country, but that's exactly what Donald Trump hates. So look, there's 2 different stories here. One is Trump University, which is a mess. He's not winning with Trump University anymore. In fact, he was never winning with it. No. The minute anybody went through the program, they were like, oh, that's it? This is not a real university. And then New York was like, you can't call it a university when it isn't a freaking university. Then he had to change its name because he was wrong on that legally. And then he gets sued by I shouldn't say almost everybody who went to it, but many people who went to it sued him because they weren't winning with it.
There are 3 different lawsuits pending right now in regard to Trump University. And it isn't just that he misled students into believing that it was a university because it was called Trump University. He also lied in infomercials about it. He said that he had hand-selected or hand-picked instructors for the school. And then in a 2012 deposition, he testified that no, he in fact did not handpick anyone for the school, not a single instructor. Students have testified or even written articles and pieces about how you would go and they would immediately play on your fears and insecurities. They would talk about how no job is secure right now and that everyone's going to be poor unless they buy real estate and they do this and do that, and gave them terrible advice. A lot of students took out $35,000 worth of student loans in order to go to these seminars that, again, were marketed as if they were classes from an accredited university. I mean, it was a scam. It was a straight-up scam.
His whole career is a scam. Like every single thing he does is scam on top of scam. Look, how would anyone know about real estate, a guy like Donald Trump, when they bankrupted 4 companies centered around real estate? Now, they make excuses for him now, his supporters do, and they say, oh, no, that was a savvy business move to go bankrupt and to take advantage of the laws that are available in America. You know what's a savvier business move? Not going bankrupt.
Yeah.
Just running a profitable business. Okay, he doesn't know a thing about real estate. All he knows is get my name out there and get paid for my name. Trump Steaks, Trump Water, Trump University, right? And this is his whole presidential run is centered around that as well. But second issue is there's no excuses left anymore. He is obviously racist against Latinos, right? Now, I know that the judge ruled against him, so he doesn't like the judge, right? And so you can attack the judge as an Obama appointee. That's perfectly fine. You can attack him for ruling against you. Perfectly fine. But when you gratuitously bring up his background based on his name, well, you bring, I mean.
What's the point of bringing that up? I mean, the only reason why he's bringing that up is because he thinks the judge possibly being of Mexican descent is a negative thing. He sees it as a negative thing. And so he antagonizes him for possibly having a Mexican background. It's ridiculous. And by the way, another thing that Trump said, during this rally was that he thinks the judge should be investigated. He was asked, okay, well, what do you think the judge should be investigated for? No idea. He should just be investigated. And that's the thing that drives me crazy. He makes statements like that, and his voters support him. There's no substance to his statements. There's no defense for what he did in scamming these students. He was asked why he antagonized the judge, and his answer was, because I don't care. That's not an answer. He's running for president. That's not an answer.
That's the answer a child gives. I don't care. What should he be? You should investigate him. Based on what? He was unfair to me. And he's Mexican. Actually, a child wouldn't say that last part, because hopefully you've taught your children better than that, right? So now, by the way, the last thing is they would say, his supporters would say, no, he's bringing out that he's a Mexican because,
because he said racist things about Mexicans, and they're worried that the judge is retaliating for Trump saying racist things about Mexicans. Yeah, okay, not really working with your argument.
Yeah, that's not a great defense of Trump. But wait a minute, I thought Trump said that the Mexicans love him. So why would they be biased against him? So by his own admission, if you believe Donald Trump, which good luck to you in your life if you believe Donald Trump, if the Mexicans love him, why would he bring up that he's Mexican? The only reason he'd bring it up is because he wants to bring up his race out of nowhere to say you shouldn't trust a Mexican or you shouldn't trust a Mexican because I've already said racist things against Mexicans.
Yeah. No, Cenk, you don't understand. Trump says all the things that, we all want to say, but he has, the guts to say them. Get the fuck out of here. Nothing drives me crazier than that stupid-ass argument. You know what? Then we can have a middle schooler be our next president, because middle schoolers say shit that they really mean.
No,
right?
But actually, I think I actually interpret that worse than you do. When somebody tells me that, that means, oh, if you don't like someone, you'd like to point out that they're a Mexican.
Yeah.
But you don't have the guts to say it.
You don't have the guts to say it.
So you like that you finally have someone running for president who is openly racist, and it thrills you that he gets to say the racist things that you're thinking. Wow, congratulations. Go ahead and vote for him based on that. You sound like a terrific person.